Hi, this is Miss Brable, and we are going to do lesson 5 of module 2 today. So you'll need to be on page 55 in your module. We are subtracting integers, and there will be some subtracting of fractions, but we're going to hold off on that for a minute. Alright, the things you need today are just paper or pencil, and your module. Turn to page 55. All right, here are your notes. So please pause your video and copy the notes down. Subtracting a number is the same thing as adding the opposite or additive inverse. So I put the steps for you. Step number 1, you want to leave the first number alone. Step number 2, change the minus sign to a plus sign. Step number 3, change the sign of the second number, and then you follow addition rules. We're going to work a couple together. These are not in your module. You may want to go ahead and write them down. So 8 minus 12 is not the same thing as 12 minus 8. Alright, so what I'm going to want you to do is rewrite it every time. So leave the first number alone, change minus to a plus. Now this last number is 12. So if I take the opposite of 12, it's going to be negative 12. Now I have a positive and a negative, and my rule for that is to subtract. So 12 minus 8 is 4, and you keep the sign of the bigger number. So 12 is the bigger number, so my answer is negative 4. Let's try one more. Four minus negative 2. So I'll give you a second to write that down. Alright, I'm going to leave the first number alone, change the minus to a plus. Now my second number is negative 2, so I have to do the opposite. The opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, and 4 plus 2 is 6, so my answer is 6. Subtracting is just one more step than adding. It's really not more difficult. What I want you to do right now is go ahead and look on page 55. That's number 1. You can use the number line if you want to. If you use the number line, the easiest way to use that would be go ahead and rewrite those and then use the number line. So I'll work the first one with you. So if you rewrite the first one, you're going to end up with first number, leave it alone, make minus a plus. That 2 is positive, so we'll make it negative 2. So if I wanted to work on the number line, I would draw an arrow to 8. So that vector goes to the right, magnitude 8, and then I have to go back 2. So we end up on 6. So remember, the rule is take the bigger number minus the smaller and keep the sign of the larger. The larger one on here is positive. Alright, now you go ahead and try B, C, and D. Try them without the number line if you can. Okay, let's go ahead and work those. So B would be 4 plus negative 9. So I subtract 9 minus 4 is 5. The bigger number is 9 and it's negative. So my answer is negative 5. So C would be negative 3 plus, that 7 is positive, so I need to make it negative. If my signs are the same, remember I add and keep the sign. So it's negative 10. And the last one would be negative 9 plus, that negative 2 becomes positive 2. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger. If you need to work them on the number line, you still can, but it'll take a long time if you have to do that for every problem. Alright, go ahead and hit pause again and work number 2, and we'll do 3 together. Alright, so on A it would be negative 2 plus that negative 5 becomes positive 5. And since the signs are different, I subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. The bigger number is 5, so the answer is positive because 5 was positive. This one becomes 11 plus the opposite of negative 8 is positive 8. 11 plus 8 is 19. This one becomes negative 10 plus the opposite of negative 4 is 4. Now my signs are different, so subtract. 10 minus 4 is 6. My bigger number in this case was 10, and it's negative, so my answer is negative 6. Alright, 3 says write 2 equivalent expressions. So remember, expressions have no equal that represent the situation. What is the difference in their elevation? An airplane flies at an altitude of 25,000 feet, so it's way up in the air, 25,000 feet. A submarine dives to a depth of 600 feet. The important thing here is below sea level. So if it's below, that makes it negative. Alright, so I could write 2 different things. I could put 25,000. So I'm trying to find the difference. Difference means subtraction. Minus, and that was negative 600. So I could rewrite that as 25,000, leave the first one alone, make it plus, take the opposite of that. And that would be my second way to write it. So that one's easy to work now. It's 25,600 is the difference. Alright, go ahead and go to your problem set. A lot of this lesson deals with that integer card game that we're not doing. So go to page 63 and we're going to work some of that together. So it looks like this. Again, this is page 63. It says on a number line, although we're not going to do it on the number line unless you need to. Find the difference of each number and 4. So every time you're subtracting 4. So the first one is 10 minus 4, the second one is 2 minus 4, then it's negative 4 minus 4, negative 6 minus 4, and 1 minus 4. Alright, then they want you to rewrite it as addition. So 10 stays the same, first number becomes plus, take the opposite sign. So this one would be 2 plus, that's 4, so we do negative 4. To solve that, they have different signs, so I have to subtract, keep the sign of the bigger. Alright, go ahead and hit pause on your video and try to work those problems and then come back and I'll finish that one with you. Alright, this one would be negative 4 plus, take the opposite of 4 is negative 4. If the signs are the same, remember you add, keep the sign. This one would be negative 6 plus negative 4. Same thing, signs are the same, add, keep the sign. This one would be 1 plus, that 4 is positive, so plus -4. Now the signs are different, so subtract. The bigger one is 4 and it's a negative, so my answer is -3. Alright, go ahead and you might need to look up videos on this if you don't understand how to do it. This is subtracting integers. So that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.